Yes, I, Grenada, Carriacou, Petite Martinique, and the world. Welcome to another Mikey Live program, and I'm your host, Mikey Hutchinson. We are coming to you live from the Spice Isle of the Caribbean, Grenada. Of course, there are a lot of things that we need to tell you about tonight, but we will try our best to do so in a short period of time. It's Friday. It's been a really tough week for you. And of course, we do not want to keep you, glued to your computers or to your phone for too long. All right, so we're going to try our best to keep it short here on a beautiful looking Friday. Now, let's take a look at what's making the headline. A reminder that the tax deadlines for March 2020 is not affected by the COVID-19. Now, Delta Airlines announces April 4th flight from Grenada to Atlanta. We'll explain the details of that in a moment. And the markets to remain closed, but relief is coming for the vendors. A missing woman found, according to police, and the bus drivers, more bus drivers charged for violating emergency powers. All right, and motor vehicle inspection resumes. We have that and more to tell you about when we return on tonight's Mikey Live program. People, if you have not yet done so, please go ahead and share the business. We got to let you know that the headlines was brought to you to the kind compliments of Nawasa. It was also brought to you to the kind compliments of Digicel. So brace all yourself. For the first time viewers, welcome, 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 and share the business. And for the usual suspects, thank you for coming here. And of course as well, share the business. When we come back, it's going to be real news in all your lily lulu. So brace all yourself, all right? We coming back. All you, I like to see all you looking good, all you looking proper. Remember, wash your hands. Wash them every day. We'll be back.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is wise to clean surfaces regularly, particularly in the vicinity of people infected with COVID-19. Hands touch many surfaces, which can be contaminated with the virus. You should therefore avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, since contaminated hands can transfer the virus from the surface to yourself. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with the bend of your elbow or use a disposable tissue. If a tissue is used, discard it immediately into a closed bin. The most effective way to prevent the spread of the new coronavirus is to clean your hands frequently with an alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. This will eliminate the virus if it is on your hands. Stay healthy and prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Courts, bringing value home.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at Waggy T Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes, from as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grand Anse, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people.
Boom! Alright, so we ready for them. Big up Waggy and the team, but I see all they're working hard today. Alright. Oh, yeah. So the first thing that we have to tell is a message from courts, alright? They say to stay safe, alright? And according to courts, they say here, dear valued customers, in accordance with the statutory order issued by the government of Grenada, we would like to announce that all courts branches will be closed from March 26th, which was yesterday, 2020, and will remain closed for a period of 21 days. Now they say that online payments can be facilitated at the instructions below. Remember, Republic Bank, formerly Scotiabank, account number 3006921, Grenada Cooperative Bank, account number 513000131. Arrangements can be made for standing orders to First Caribbean Bank, account number 1070-26987, or any of the accounts listed previously. For any additional information during this closure, please visit the online platform, alright, and that will be readyfinancecaribbean.com, or you can give them a call at 435-2958 or 405-1667. Alright, they say that we will get through this tough time together, so stay safe. Alright, so we need to tell you about the registry, alright, and some changes that you may have to contend with, okay? Now, the government of Grenada has issued the Emergency Powers COVID-19 Regulations 2020 in an effort to reduce the movement, they say, of persons in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. Now, here's what the Supreme Court Registry has examined its operations and has decided that in the interests of the safety of our people, our employees, and the public, they say that they must take all necessary precautions to guard against the spread of the COVID-19. Therefore, the
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is why COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is wise to clean surfaces regularly, particularly in the vicinity of people infected with COVID-19. Hands touch many surfaces, which can be contaminated with the virus. You should therefore avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, since contaminated hands can transfer the virus.
Alright, so folks, I'd like to sincerely apologize for that interference in our transmission, alright? Yep, that was a terrible thing. Alright, I'd like to apologize for that. Let me know if you can hear me. So what I'm seeing here is that we are actually having some sort of interference on our system. No, I didn't say hacking. I said some sort of interference. All right. Yes, there seems to be some sort of interference in our system, but I think it has been sorted out. All right. So I do apologize for that again, for that technical glitch. There's nothing that I could have done to avoid this. I do not know. There's nothing was working. All right, so I apologize for that. Okay, and let's get back to business. All right, so we were talking about the Supreme Court registry. Oh, I think we will have that problem again. I'm getting an indicator. All right, I think we will have that problem again. So you just give me 1 second while I sort this out. All right. Unfortunately, I don't know. Just give me 1 second to do this, all right? All right, there will be times like these. I'm having a serious problem with my entire thingy. It's like it's going all haywire on both ends. I believe you can hear me now. So we're going to try to see if we can get this going. All right, things will not work the same. Like we'll have to work with limited resources. Let's see how far we can get into the program with that. All right. Again, I sincerely apologize for that. Okay, so as we were saying, we were talking about the Supreme Court registry and some adjustments that were made. All right, so I guess as much some of it you did not get, so let's go through that again. All right, so the actions that were taken. Now, the Supreme Court registry, they have examined, they say, its operations and has decided that in the interests of the safety of the employees and the public, we must take all necessary precautions to guard against the spread of the virus, they say. Therefore, the employees of the Supreme Court Registry will be working remotely from home until directed to do otherwise by the government of Grenada. Now, in the event that instruments needed to be lodged in the Deeds and Land Registry or the Bills of Sale Department in order to meet statutory deadlines, please email your info to registrargrenada@gmail.com, and you can send a copy to Deputy Registrar Grenada at gmail.com, and that is to make your appointments to facilitate the process. Now, they say that arrangements have been put in place for the electronic filing and the service of documents required to, required for the respective high courts or for emergency applications. Now, the court, they say, is scheduled to proceed on its annual Easter vacation on the 8th of April 2020 when the law term comes to a scheduled end. Now, the registry wishes to advise the public that all matters scheduled for hearing in the High Court for the period 26 March 2020 to the 8th of April 2020, they are adjourned to a date to be fixed by the court office. Now, all jurors, you are hereby advised that you are not required to attend the criminal assizes until further notice. The registry wishes to highlight that the high courts are not closed and arrangements will be made for emergency applications to be heard via video conference and or telephone conference. For the purpose of swearing affidavits, the court office requests that an email be sent to registrargrenada@gmail.com and a copy to Deputy Registrargrenada@gmail.com to make an appointment to facilitate this process. Please feel free to contact the acting registrar or the acting deputy registrar with any questions or concerns that you may have. They say that the registry asks that you understand that we are all charting unfamiliar territories and must deal with issues as they arise. The nature of our operations, they say, make it extremely difficult for our staff to observe the social distancing protocols, and therefore we appeal to you to appreciate the position that we must adopt in the current circumstances. All right, good. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. You know what I mean? Right. Well, yeah, we are moving on. Now, the Inland Revenue Department. So here's what they say. The Inland Revenue Division, they are sending out a reminder that the tax deadline for March 2020 remains the same. They say filing of income tax, personal and corporation and annual stamp tax returns for 2019 are due on Monday, March 30th and Tuesday, March 31st, respectively. Remember that no changes have been made to these deadlines. In light of the present situation, the IRD continues to take precautionary measures to safeguard its staff and taxpayers against the possible spread of the COVID-19 on the island. Taxpayers, you are advised to utilize the check boxes provided at the IRD office to deposit check payments and drop-off boxes for the collection of accurately completed income tax and annual stamp tax returns. Documents can also be scanned and submitted via email where possible to gndird@ird.gd. Alternatively, the forms can be downloaded from the IRD website, that is ird.gd, filled out and sent by email, to gndird@ird.gd. The general public, you are further advised to make full use of the Direct Revenue Office, the district ones, that is, as far as possible, and to observe the regulations of the limited state of emergency. The Inland Revenue Division remains committed to facilitate the platforms necessary for the completion and compliance of taxpayers during this period and urges the public cooperation in this regard. However, taxpayers who may have difficulties in filing on time, you can send an email request to the controller of the IRD via gndird@ird.gd. Approval will be determined on a case-by-case basis once the comptroller is satisfied that the extension is warranted. In such cases, the extension will be granted and the late payment and filing fee would be waived, but interest would still be applicable. What on the jet boy? Now, let's talk about this, all right? Delta. Yes, the United States Embassy in Grenada, they say that they have worked with Delta Airlines to arrange a commercial U.S. repatriation flight from Grenada to Atlanta on the 4th of April to return U.S. citizens in Grenada to the United States. American citizens wishing to reserve and pay for your seats on this flight, you are advised to visit delta.com or call 1-800-221-1212. There is the chance that the timing of the flight could change based on the availability of aircraft, so please monitor your reservations. At this time, there are no other confirmed flights from Grenada to the United States, so per the U.S. Department of State Global Level 4 Health Advisory, U.S. citizens who live in the United States should arrange for immediate return to the United States unless they are prepared to remain abroad for an indefinite period. For questions on the status of other flights, please contact your airline. Travelers, you should be prepared to for travel restrictions to be put in effect with little or no advance notice. They say many travelers worldwide have reported unexpected flight cancellations and limited flight availability. If your travel has been disrupted, please contact your airline. All right, Olio. So here the next piece now. Sugar and spice by. They send out a notice. I know people go listen. People go dead. Oh God, I go dead. You saw that little thing on Facebook? Sugar and spice. Hear what they say. Dear valued customers, given the recent announcement from the government of Grenada, we believe that the need to adhere to social distancing is very important. Therefore, we have taken the decision to close all our operations temporarily, effective immediately. We apologize to all our customers for any inconveniences caused. If you have any questions or queries, feel free to email us at sugarandspiceinvltd.com. So let me ask all a question. All you find that right? So people don't have a social life already. If man can eat ice cream, how man go survive? The government should make it mandatory. You all see those smile on my face. What are you laughing for? You find I look like I'm joking? The government laps. Keep on them, all the laps. Because all you're supposed to make sure some companies ain't closed, like the ice cream companies. Hello? Man don't can drink rum already. What all you leave for man to do when man can suck a piece of ice cream? Oh God. I want it. Man don't can, man don't can drink rum already. No all cutting all them in ice cream, dog. Y'all have to think, dog. Listen, man. Election should be next week, you know. Because, listen, alright, let me leave that talk there. Listen, I not joking. Y'all laugh. I not even joking. You see me joking? You see me laughing? I ain't understand. What is what coming to? According to them people abroad. What Grenada coming to? I don't understand. What going on in Grenada? So, folks, let's go back to this. Man, can I say ice cream piece, dog? Anyway, let's leave that one. We're moving on. The Ministry of Health acknowledges and understands the concerns they say and frustration of our nation's vendors who are not allowed to sell their produce and products at the markets this weekend. And that is due to the limited state of emergency measures put in place by the government of Grenada. Those measures, which include a mandate to have citizens practice social distancing of at least 6 feet are designed to protect the country and save the lives of our citizens by limiting the spread of the COVID-19 here on our shores. Please note that we are working with various entities to present a viable solution to the market vendors that will balance their ability to have a livelihood and still remain safe in the process. Early next week, God's willing, an announcement will be made on the way forward for market vendors. I find that making sense? All of mine. So last night we told you Mikey makes sauce of black. I tell everyone I want sugar and spice. But come and tell me about sauce of sugar and spice I want. Anne Bowen of Happy Hill, St. George, who had been reported missing by us and of course other media houses and by the police yesterday, has been found safe and well, says the police. Now the Royal Grenada Police Force, well, I'll make some noise now, say, yeah, now, why is that one by? Make some noise too, no dog. The Royal Grenada Police Force would like to thank the general public and the media for your continued support. Yeah, man. Woo, that one was close. We are moving on. Folks, how are we looking for time? All you owe, Lord God, hear that piece. 2 St. George's bus drivers have been charged with violating Section 13(1)(a) of the 2020 Emergency Powers COVID-19 regulations. Alric Noel, 27 years old, of Victoria St. Mark, a driver of the Zone 1 bus route, was found to be carrying approximately 17 Oh, yeah, duck when I hear that one. Jano! What? How much you say? Wait. Hold on, let me read that one. No, let me serious now. Business is serious business. For carrying approximately 17 persons on a passenger bus. Oh, God. You've given it a nice one more time. Approximately 17 persons on a passenger bus. While Loris Philip 14, well, what I can't do nothing, you want me to cry? While Loris Philip 49 of Bolio was stopped along the Tempe route with an overloaded passenger bus. Both men are in police custody pending bail. The Royal Grenada Police Force is once again appealing to persons to comply with the 2020 Emergency Powers COVID-19 regulation. Section 13(1)(a) of the Emergency Powers COVID-19 regulation states that no person shall offer for hire or seek to travel on a motor omnibus unless there is or would be not more than 1 passenger per row in the motor omnibus in a staggered formation. Hold on, let me read that again. Section 13(1)(a) of the Emergency Powers COVID-19 regulation states that no person shall offer for hire or seek to travel on any motor omnibus unless there is or would be not more than 1 passenger per row in the motor omnibus in a staggered formation. So that law tells me that not just the driver must be charged, but the passenger must be charged as well. If I read it correctly, this is not a dunce, you know. I go to school. It says you must not offer for hire, nor shall you seek to travel on any motor omnibus. In other words, the law is speaking to the driver or operator of the motor vehicle as much as it is speaking to the passengers themselves. Alright? Anyway, we're going. A person who, and it goes again, a person who contravenes or fails to comply with these regulations shall be guilty of an offense and, on summary conviction, liable to a fine of $1,000 and to imprisonment for 12 months and to forfeiture of any goods or money in respect of which the offense has been committed. And I word it a little different so that we still establish that we are talking to two different sets of people here. You understand? And I word it a little different just to underscore the point that we are talking about both driver or operator of the vehicle and passenger. But anyway, lately that talk, the dynamic job. Yesterday we told you that a driver was charged for violating the same law. Remember we told you that officers laid charge against Kelly Fraser of Darbo St. George, a driver of the #1 bus route. After 10, so, you know, let's say traveling, you know, and ting, get pulled over and thing like that. He said he had about 9 including the driver and the conductor, and he get pulled over and then building something and building so. Anyway, lately that talk. So, yeah, boy. So he got himself in trouble. He probably was one of the first persons to be charged. Yesterday, was it last night? 13, I believe, 13 persons were arrested on Hog Island. Social life continues on Hog Island like normal until the police decide they're not gonna have it. So 13 persons were arrested again under the same law because we don't hear in. We don't hear in all that. We don't hear in. We don't listen in, Sharon. We don't listen in. Anyway, let's leave that talk. The traffic department, let me pick up my piece of thing here. Read it upside down. Now, the traffic department of the Royal Grenada Police Force wishes to inform the general public and in particular motorists that the inspection of vehicles will resume at the various inspection centers from Monday 30th March 2020. Persons should expect delay in processing as operations will be scaled back to promote social distancing recommendations. The general public, you are also notified that both theoretical and driving competencies have been suspended until further notice. The Royal Grenada Police Force would like to thank all for your understanding and cooperation. How are we looking for time? Right. Right, we are moving on with the news in the papers. A 40-year-old from Lamode, charged in connection with last Sunday's killing in the village of Lamode, St. George, has been remanded to the Richmond Hill prison on a charge of non-capital murder, says the informer. Now, the accused, Kenson Dragon, made his first appearance before Acting Chief Magistrate Teddy St. Louis at the St. George's #1 Magistrates Court on Wednesday. Now, he was represented in court by defense lawyer Arlie Gill. Simon, who is the lone suspect in the murder of his uncle Troy Dragon, is expected to make his second appearance in court on April 14, 2020. According to information reaching the Grenada Informer, the incident occurred last Sunday during an altercation between Dragon and his uncle Troy. Sources said things went out of hand when one of the men was struck with a bottle in the head. Informer was told that both men were engulfed in a physical exchange when Troy was stabbed in the abdomen. According to eyewitnesses, both men were placed in separate vehicles and were taken to the general hospital to seek medical attention. However, having gotten there, Troy later succumbed to his injuries. Now, during his brief stint at the court on Wednesday, the charge of non-capital murder was read to Kenson. He was not required to plead since the charge was indictable in nature. Defense lawyer Arlie Gill, while not making an application for bail, requested of the court for full disclosure prior to the next hearing. If convicted, Dragon faces a maximum of life imprisonment. Last Sunday's murder brings to 6 the number of homicide cases to have taken place in Grenada the first quarter of this year. Right. Oh, there, them credit union and them they walking, you know. So I got information from one of the credit unions. All right, the GUT offers solutions to COVID affected members. So he says here that as well as we all continue to be vigilant amid the coronavirus pandemic, the GUT Credit Union remains committed to serving members and their families in the safest way possible. In an effort to effectively and appropriately support members whose financial wellness has been compromised as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, we are offering a range of solutions, including but not limited to moratorium on loans for up to 6 months in the first instance, other payment modification options, additional access to funds through our coronavirus associated relief emergency care policy. You see that members facing financial challenges as a result of this pandemic, you are encouraged to contact the credit union to discuss the options available to them. More information can be obtained by calling 440-1354 or email gutcu@spiceisle.com or loans@gutcu.com. As people helping people, let us all work together to keep each other safe during this time. All right, hey, what am I doing now? Can't make me think still. What the jail is that one by? Jano. My phone is going off. What is that one by? Alright. Good. My phone just going off like everybody just Alright. Okay. Alright. Anyway, yeah, a lot of things just coming in meeting. Anyway, lately that talk big. So, all them. Here, next piece now. If I hear anybody talk about Green in Carnival one more time, I'll come in and find where I'll stay in. So let's talk about somebody else's Carnival for now. So, there's been a lot of talk in terms of what should happen to Carnival. Carnival is all the way in August. I ain't talking about that yet. You understand? We have time. We'll talk about that when the time comes. But right now, I ain't talking about Carnival. I'm talking about here, things more closer to us. But there are other people, other islands who are talking about Carnival, such as St. Lucia. They have postponed, well, it should be cancelled, but to be politically correct, I'm following them. They have postponed their Carnival to next year. Let's hear what they have to say.
The plug has been pulled on the 2020 edition of St. Lucia Carnival. There was an air of anticipation among ardent fans and interest groups who had already invested heavily in the marquee celebration. The entire Carnival fraternity awaited the official word for the fate of the event. Friday, March 27th, a decision has been made to roll the festivity over to 2021. The official press release from the Ministry of Culture and Creative Industries reads, quote, "Considering the issues, the government of St. Lucia, while recognizing the cultural and economic importance of the festival, has decided that it would be in the best interest if St. Lucia Carnival 2020 is postponed to July 2021. End quote. This comes as no surprise to many, as in a previous broadcast of News Force, Minister for Tourism Dominic Fede alluded to a no-go if an October timeline could not be met.
If the October date doesn't work, then that's the end of it for this year, and we will have to look at it for next year.
The celebration of Carnival is not relegated solely to 2 days of the National Parade, but encompasses pageantry, calypso, soca, and private events, all of which fall under the banner of St. Lucia Carnival 2020. The decision was not taken lightly, according to the press release, as a number of factors were examined before the axe fell on the event. In a previous broadcast, a representative for Balance Inc., T.C. Brown, stated business as usual was out the window as it relates to Carnival.
What I could tell you is it's not going to be business as usual. For sure, it's not going to be business as usual. The same things we used to see around Carnival, that's not going to be for sure. So it has to be a change of thinking and a change of ideas.
According to the press release, the St. Lucia Carnival Bands Association has agreed that its members will present their 2020 portrayals in 2021 and indicated that prepaid purchases, deposits, and other similar payments will be honored. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
All right, guys, so thank you very much for that. So yeah, this is what's going to go on. So folks, as indicated to you earlier, this has not happened. This is the first time I'm seeing this. My entire system is just trying to do what it wants. All right, but anyway, that's a small thing. So what we have for you coming up in a while is the national report, and we also have the weather for you. Again, folks, remember that the St. George's Market will be closed tomorrow. All right, but they are doing what they can. The authorities, they say that they're doing what they can to organize the business. It's been a rough week, a week of a lot of tension and stuff like that. So to break the ice a bit, I have a presentation for you. Now, there is one guy that is breaking the internet and has started breaking the internet since yesterday. So the guy started breaking the internet yesterday, and he's even breaking the internet now. His name is Twiggy. Now, folks, we are going to show you a side of Twiggy with no man, like that's probably some of you may have forgotten existed. Here is Swiggy.
You know, music is my business. Gotta go to work. There's work to do. Yeah. Music is my business. Come on, my brother. Right to it. Music is my business. Come on, my sister. You gotta love it now. I'm gonna pack up my stuff in a case and get on my way. I've got so much work to do all over this world. For too long I've been too lazy, just sitting around. So right now I'm bringing this gift to you. Wherever you are, music is my business. Come on, my brother, back to it. Music is my business. Come on, my sister, you gotta love it now. I'm gonna set up my business right here tonight. There is so many of you, and the spot is right. Right now, I know what you want, I'm gonna give it to you. Sing along with me, you will feel it for true. Real music, can't you see it? Sweet music, can you taste it? Hot music, can you feel it? Good music, can you hear it?
Music is my business. That's a song coming from Twiggy right now, folks. For those of you who do not know who Twiggy is, for those of you who do not know why Twiggy is breaking the internet, yo, listen, you're missing out on the whole business, man. You see, I cannot play the video that is breaking the internet because I'm gonna get myself in trouble. So for those of you who are not aware of why Twiggy is breaking the internet, go search the business, yes, and somebody, I don't know who do Twiggy that, but I want to have a moment of silence for Twiggy. Twiggy, I'm sorry, bro. Somebody sold you out.
Can you taste it? Hot music.
Oh, God. Twiggy. Anyway, somebody recorded Twiggy, not knowing. He didn't know that he was being recorded. So they put the camera on the side of his bus. He's a bus driver. And people is to hear what Twiggy was saying. That's all I can tell you. I can't play it. I can't repeat what he was saying, all right? But anyway, big up the whole business Twiggy. Folks, what we're going to do is we are going to take a break and return shortly. And when we return, just know that we have for you the national report, all right? So all your, brace all yourself for that.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Courts, bringing value home.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
For me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Chivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grand St. George.
All right, folks, it's now time for the national report.
COVID-19 Economic Support Secretariat rolls out first 2 programs. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Friday, March 27th, I am Rakisha St. Louis. The Government of Grenada COVID-19 Economic Support Secretariat (CES) is rolling out the first 2 programs from the list of incentives announced by Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell during his address to the nation on March 20th. These are the payroll support, whose beneficiaries include restaurants, bars, hotels, small travel agent and other tourism-related businesses, and income support, which will benefit public buses, taxi drivers and tourist vendors. The measures are part of a comprehensive plan announced by the Prime Minister and Minister for Finance to cushion the effects of COVID-19 on various sectors of the economy. Ms. Chanel Andrews is the Strategic Program Manager at the Ministry of Finance with responsibility for public relations in COVID-19 Economic Support Unit. She explains the criteria for the payroll support.
The criteria for payroll support: persons must be registered with the Inland Revenue Division and the National Insurance Scheme. Funding should not be used for salary payment to owners, directors and managers. The entity must be in operation up to March 1st, 2020, and persons who would have hired employees after March 20th would not be eligible for payroll support. Monthly application with employee verification is required, and we are asking that persons apply the vacation leave in the first instance as a means of employer's contribution. Now, this program is a contributory support program, and government would not be paying the entire salary of the employees, but it's the expectation that the employers would pay a portion and government would pay a portion of the employees' wages and salaries.
Forms for the payroll support program can be accessed at www.finance.gd. Ms. Andrews says, as of Tuesday, March 31st, the forms can be physically collected at all district revenue offices and the Treasury office on the Carenage, but beneficiaries are being urged to utilize the online forms as much as possible. She also outlined the criteria for those benefiting under the income support.
They must be registered with the National Insurance Scheme. They must be registered with the Grenada Tourism Association wherever applicable. We know not all persons would be registered with NIS or even GTA. So we're asking that persons who are not registered with GTA, in order to process the payment of funds, we must have a national insurance number. So we are asking you to go and get registered with NIS. So when you come to do the application with us, it would be much more easier for you and easier to process for you, right? It's a one-off application for this category, and they would be paid on a monthly basis. The employee verification form would be required where applicable, and that might be in most cases where, for instance, I may have a bus, but I employ a conductor and a driver. So you would need some form of verification that my employees would have received the payments, right? We are asking that all application forms come back into the office by 10th of April 2020.
Ms. Andrews says the employee verification forms must be submitted on time for additional funds to be accessed. The COVID-19 Economic Support Secretariat was officially established to implement the incentive programs announced by the Prime Minister. The Supreme Court Registry says, in response to measures outlined to reduce the movement of persons in light of the COVID-19 outbreak, its employees will be working remotely from home until directed to do otherwise by the government of Grenada. It says in the event that instruments need to be lodged in the Deeds and Land Registry or the Bills of Sale Department in order to meet statutory deadlines, emails should be sent and copied to make an appointment to facilitate this process. Arrangements have been put in place for the electronic filing and service of documents required for the respective high courts for emergency applications. The court is scheduled to proceed on its annual Easter vacation on the 8th of April 2020, when the law term comes to a scheduled end. The registry says all matters scheduled for hearing in the High Court for the period March 26, 2020 to April 8, 2020 are adjourned to a date to be fixed by the court. Jurors are advised that they are not required to attend the criminal assizes until further notice. Continuing with the news, the Grenada Tourism and Hotel Association says they are collaborating with hoteliers to keep the tourist destination in the minds of visitors during the down period due to COVID-19. On March 20th, Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell announced a $20 million worth of payroll support to hoteliers, restaurant and bars, travel agents, income support to buses, taxi operators, vendors, and others.
Currently, we're working alongside various organizations as well, the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association. We have a network of various associations throughout the entire region where we collaborate about best practices and what they're doing within their hotel sector and how we can possibly use their tools and resources here in Grenada as well. So we have made resources available. We'll be implementing a new website as well to help our hoteliers. We're hoping to communicate more effectively, like what we hear from government. We're trying to send it out to our membership as well, so they are in the know.
That was Chief Executive Officer of the GHTA, Arlene Friday. She says hoteliers are exploring ways they can get creative with marketing strategies.
We have to be creative, right? Because this is all new for everyone right now. We're all basically trying to navigate this without ever experiencing this before. So basically we are relying on one another. Grenada tourism has to be on everyone's minds. And then looking forward in terms of being creative. Being creative to, in terms of, again, how do we market ourselves? How do we present ourselves and keep ourselves in the minds of the everyday consumer? We have to restore faith in the industry.
The tourism outlook for 2020 looks dismal. Hotels are saying to visitors, do not cancel their vacation to Grenada, just postpone until further notice.
This was initially looking as one of our best years in the tourism sector, and to see it plummet so quickly, as the rest of the world, to see it happen so quickly has put us in a very dire state. The outlook right now is quite dismal, just because we don't know. As with the rest of the world, we're taking it step by step, day by day. Again, we are really concerned about our staff, retaining staff, because we've built relationships, we've trained, there are close ties, and of course we want to retain our staff. And then going forward, it's also important how we market ourselves, right? So right now we're telling people, don't cancel, postpone. We will be open one day.
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
COVID-19 spreads from person to person through the droplets that are produced when someone coughs or sneezes, which makes it easy to spread between people in close contact. Now let's get prepared to stay healthy. To reduce your chance of catching or spreading COVID-19, practice these simple everyday preventative measures. Droplets can also land on surfaces, so ensure that you wash your hands frequently for a minimum of 20 seconds or sing the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with an alcohol content between 60 and 90%. 70% is ideal. When you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth with a flexed elbow or a tissue. Dispose of the tissue immediately and then wash your hands. If you notice someone has a fever and cough or other symptoms of respiratory illness, avoid close contact when possible. Let's all do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. Our health is our collective responsibility.
Welcome back. The Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, has proposed a revised examination strategy for the scheduled May to June 2020 examinations to be rescheduled to July due to COVID-19. Christian Mitchell tells us the intent of the proposal is to yield valid grades and minimize the disruption to the education sector.
The Caribbean Examination Council has been taking into consideration all possible factors going forward for the CSEC, CAPE and CPEA examinations and says they will continue to monitor developments of the COVID-19 pandemic in the region while keeping in contact with relevant ministries of countries impacted. A press conference was held on Thursday at the CXC headquarters where the necessary exam modifications were highlighted.
The administration of at least one common paper, and in this case, the multiple choice assessment. 2, the utilization of school-based assessment and the paper 3-2, which is the alternative to SBA for private candidates. 3. Awarding final grades based on the moderated SBA and the multiple choice assessments.
Additional components will have to be completed for modern languages, visual arts, and human and social biology using e-testing online-offline modality. The Council advised the general public that the modality will not affect the marking or releasing of examination results.
This strategy will employ the e-testing modality online and offline in order to reduce the administration processing time, resulting in the shortest turnaround time for marking and releasing of examination results. In addition, it will provide an opportunity for timely presentation of grades to facilitate matriculation to higher education and to access employment.
The Council also urges both students and teachers to employ the CXC Learning Hub, which provides the opportunity to be prepared for the upcoming exams.
Students and teachers are encouraged to utilize the CXC Learning Hub, our e-learning platform, and provides learners and instructors with a single access point to multiple resources geared towards examination preparation is available at learninghub.cxc.org.
For the National Report, I am Chrisanne Mitchell.
That story just ended the National Report for today, Friday, March 27th. Let's recap the top story. COVID-19 Economic Support Secretariat rolls out first 2 programs. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Okay, thank you very much, Rikisha, and everyone else who were part of the production of the National Report. We are now to take a look at the weather. Let's see what it says here. Partly cloudy with a medium chance of some light showers by midnight tonight. The maximum temperature for today was 30.5 degrees Celsius, and the minimum for tonight will be just around 24 degrees Celsius. Winds east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour. Becoming variable to calm at times. Seas moderate, waves up to 6 feet in open waters. Let's take a look at the weather for Saturday. And the weather is expected to be mostly fair with a low chance of a few brief morning showers accompanying partly cloudy spells. All right. And the maximum temperature for tomorrow, just around 30.5 degrees Celsius, and the minimum 23.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 5 to 15 miles per hour, becoming variable to calm at times. Seas slight to moderate, waves up to 5 feet in open waters. And the weather for Sunday is expected to be mostly fair. Minimum temp 24.5 degrees Celsius, max 30.5, and the winds northerly to easterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves up to 5 feet in open waters. And that's your weather for tomorrow and Sunday. So, and well, you got tonight as well. Let's say hi to Zaka and Noreen, as well as Ala and Shireen, Rolanda and Nikki, and the whole crew and crews. Big up all the status, all right? God bless you and your families. And yeah, we went over the time today because we had a little glitch in the beginning of the program. And yeah, ish happens, all right? So ish happened tonight, but we now won't watch that. So folks, remember to wash your hands, stay safe, keep your hands off your face. If you're going to touch your face, make sure that you are doing so with clean hands. All right. Ezran, Mishi, Angel, Doris, Trevelyn, Kirin, Merrill, Zilon, Mr. McQueen, Nelsia, Hodia, Suzette, Veron, and Rachel, Christine, Ventress, and for the other people, Roland and so on. For the other people who didn't hear your name, well, good night to you guys anyway. Blessings to those of you who are always there. You're always there, never saying anything. You're always silent. You're sharing, you're doing whatever, but you don't say anything. I'd like to say hello to you as well. So folks, that's it right there, and we shall touch base again tomorrow, God's willing. Well, not tomorrow, but you know. All right? Anyway, take care. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we all say, Ja! No. Good night, everyone.